On average, 30 million passengers cruise globally, on cruise ships which have evolved from just a mode of transport.
The ship itself has become the destination.
And this is the largest of them all, Symphony of the Seas. Constructed in 2018, costing over £1 billion, she weighs 228,000 tons.
It's just a wow factor when you walk on board, second to none.
I think it's a wow, even just driving up to it.
The ship is 1,188 feet in length, longer than the Shard on its side. Its 18 decks stand at 238 feet in height, making it taller than Nelson's Column. With 6 engines, each the size of a double-decker bus, totaling 128,600 horsepower.
It's a marvel of technical engineering.
They even constructed a park that contains 20,700 tropical plants and 52 trees.
I didn't think you need a gardener on a cruise ship.
This epic piece of engineering carries 2,200 crew members who look after 6,680 guests, accommodated in 2,759 state rooms.
Everything will be picture perfect. That's what we strive for.
Below deck, the kitchens produce over 40,000 meals per day and has a shopping bill just under $1 million per week, catering for guests that can seat 5,200 guests in one sitting. This is a behind-the-scenes look at the people who keep this sailing city afloat.
Missing one, guys, one on the counter.
We cannot leave 6,300 waiting for them.
Welcome aboard the £1 billion cruise. This morning, the world's largest cruise ship is at sea as it begins its long journey back towards the port of Miami. With over 6,300 passengers on board making full use of the ship's facilities, the crew has their work cut out. Up on Deck 18, in the Royal Suite, it's all systems go.
Everything will be picture perfect. That's what we strive for.
Spread over 2 floors, the suite costs £75,000 for a week, and for those able to afford it, there's a magical added extra, a personal concierge known as a Royal Genie.
The Genies go through rigorous training with the British Butler Institute. And then, of course, we shadow colleagues until you're finally ready to become a Genie.
Renault's been asked to arrange a wedding anniversary dinner that will be served later this evening.
I want to give them a surprise dinner party out on the balcony. Her favorite is snow crab, which we did not have on board, but we ordered it in for them before the cruise started. So we will do a big seafood festival for her.
A seafood extravaganza is small fry for Renault, who's used to magicking up the impossible.
Hello, Renault. We might have requests for a private yacht, a helicopter, and then, of course, some requests that I should probably not mention.
To get everything ready on time, Renault's enlisted the help of Zerwin from housekeeping.
I don't know, be on that side somewhere, do the pillows or the cushions. It's not just the guests. I cannot stand mess. I think it's my 10 years of being in the army before I joined the Royal Caribbean that made me a little bit OCD, I guess. There's a standard for everything, and I think sometimes work on his nerves.
Even the room's technology has to dance to Renault's tune.
Make sure that we have the piano set for the party, because, you know, many of the guests are not quite sure how it works. So just put it on automatic already for them. No. So what, is this the glasses that you come to replace?
Yes.
No, I want you to have crystal glasses from Wonderland.
No, this is the crystal glasses.
No, the color ones, you know, the blue and red one.
Disappointed with the plain glasses on offer, Renault decides that if a job is worth doing, it's worth doing himself.
Where's your beautiful colored crystal glasses? Do you know where? I just want one. I got my glasses. Unreal that I have to fight for glasses in real life. Unreal.
On days like today, where passengers aboard this sailing city spend the entire day at sea, the company likes to offer cruise enthusiasts exclusive backstage tours.
I've been cruising since I was about 6 months old, so I've been on a lot of cruises. We've been on the Allure, we've been on the Harmony of the Seas, and then we just thought, why not do the biggest one in the world?
Hi there, good afternoon. How you doing? Josh. Anna. Fraser. Josh, nice to meet you. Right, let's take a look around the bridge tour.
Second Officer Josh is giving married engineers Anna and Fraser a tour of the bridge, the beating heart of the ship, where everything from onboard safety to the steering is controlled.
What we're going to do is we're going to show you a video of when the ship was in dry dock, just before we were going to sail her out. We'll take them onto the bridge wing and show you how we control the ship, and then at the end, we'll come back in the centre and just show you a little bit behind the scenes, OK? A little bit extra as well.
The ship, built 2 years ago at a cost of more than £1 billion, is manoeuvred by 4 box thrusters, generating 30,000 horsepower. There's also 2 21-ton anchors which act as emergency handbrakes, but for this floating city, the biggest challenge isn't stopping, it's docking in port.
We've got a bit of a problem unique to our size, and that is you can't actually see the side of the ship as you're coming alongside. So that's why we have these cameras up here. And when we are coming port side alongside or port side off, we will use these independent levers here to manoeuvre the pods. And here are our bow thruster controls as well. So we will normally bring on 2 to 3 thrusters for a manoeuvre.
Because we're engineering backgrounds, it's interesting for us to be able to see all that stuff. It's always nice to be able to see the new things, new technology as well.
So we'll now bring you over to our screens here. And as you'll have noticed when you came onto the bridge, you won't have seen any paper charts on board. No. We don't have paper charts.
The vast ship's engines not only power the vessel, but also generate electricity for each of the 18 decks.
The amount of power we produce could power the city of Southampton without any problems whatsoever. You know, over 90 megawatts of total power. It's enormous.
For Second Officer Josh, it could take more than a decade before he's let loose captaining a ship as large as Symphony of the Seas.
In terms of progression, very much based on skill and ability. The next rank will be First Officer, and then up and then through Chief Officer, Safety, Staff Captain, and then Captain. So hopefully in 12 to 15 years' time, you'll see me on board, but with a few more stripes on my shoulder. So yeah, that's the way it works.
Whilst he's not ready to steer Symphony of the Seas into port, Josh does get the chance to captain the ship's record-beating 370-person lifeboats.
So at the moment, my lifeboats are all I need to manoeuvre, so I get plenty of manoeuvres when it comes to drills, but just not the biggest cruise ship in the world just yet.
One day.
There'll be time.
Maybe there'll be another bigger one by then.
Exactly.
But as you can see, you're probably driving one of the biggest lifeboats in the world.
Do you know what? I hadn't have thought it like that. I'm going to take immense pride in knowing that I get the biggest lifeboat in the world.
I know, has this got a road name as well?
The next stage of their tour takes Anna and Fraser to meet Chief Engineer Stig. He's showing them around the control room, the hub where everything from the sprinkler systems to the engine's ignition is controlled.
So this is actually one of the few places on board. Actually, there's only one more. That's the bridge, and it's manned 24 hours a day, every day of the year.
The ship is one of only 2 in the world to generate its own steam power, which they use to make hot water.
So in this corner, we typically monitor the steam system, and it's basically free energy from the exhaust gases. So we bring the energy from the exhaust gases out through the steam system, and we produce electricity with it. What you actually see on top of the funnel, at times you can see there's like a white plume, we call it. You might think that is exhaust, but it's actually steam that is coming out of. We call it plume.
In your workshops and things, do you have to wear it?
The final stop on Anna and Fraser's backstage tour is to one of the ship's 2 state-of-the-art engine rooms, housing 6 engines the size of buses.
So these are the the smaller engines in this engine room.
In spite of their size, the advanced technology on board means it takes just 90 seconds to power the engines up.
So these are about 14.4 megawatt engines. So in total, between all of them, there is about 130,000 horsepower shared between the 6 engines.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of power.
12 decks above, hotel director Fernando is going about his rounds.
Manny, good to see you. How are you? Seem nice and relaxed. That's the important thing. All right. Hello. Everything good? Yeah, thank you very much. Good job there.
He's responsible for the ship's 2,759 hotel rooms, 40 restaurants and bars, 23 pools, and 3 theatres.
Give a quick call to the pool SCS. If they're not using, I want to make sure that they store it away. Good afternoon.
To give the world's largest cruise ship a competitive edge, Fernando favours a personal brand of service where no detail is ever too small.
This is looking good. When our guests leave, we want them to feel that they really take something with them when they get home. We have 5 pumps, but 3 plates. I don't know, my eyes get drawn to these small things. It's like you have 3 plates, 5 pumps, might as well just take everything out and so you don't notice the difference. It's looking good. You know, 99% of things will be great, but our job is to find the 1% that we can do better.
It's still early, so Fernando's taking advantage of the quiet to make sure everything is shipshape for this busy day at sea.
Guys, you need to leave the pizza a little bit longer and to put more cheese around it. Like, you see the pizza on top? It's like it's raw. It's not even cooked properly.
Joining him on his rounds today is second-in-command and protégé Alistair.
I'd like to think that I'm picking up the tips as I go along, and hopefully not too long, I'll get that extra half stripe on my shoulder. So.
I couldn't hear much of what you said, but I think we'll keep the integrity of your appraisal pristine as it was before. So good. He tries to look like me. He thinks one of these days he's just gonna sit in my chair and no one's gonna notice that I'm gone. Right?
That's the plan.
Let's go.
Fernando and Alistair make up to 4 meticulous inspections a day. Yesterday, Fernando spotted a technical fault on a ship's staircase, and now he wants to check it's been fixed.
I noticed that when I was going down, so... This ship comes with so much technology, and simple things as just a staircase has music and lights attached to it. Okay, this one's working good so far. Yeah, you made a song.
Having established the piano has a few more symphonies left in it, the final check of the morning takes them to deck 4, where Fernando spots something that doesn't quite pass muster.
It's just a little bit, see, it's a little bit crooked. It's not a lot, but it just bothers me.
It's borderline between attention to detail and OCD. We're not sure which one it is, but...
There you go. Perfect. It's okay, now we just need to get all our crew members to do this.
I'll go and get the spirit level just to check. Make sure we're...
Please do, but I can't guarantee you this. My eye would detect it. Yeah. Small details matter.
It's day 4 of the Caribbean cruise, and today passengers aboard this floating city are spending the day at sea.
Wow. It's quite high. It's really high.
The Fairfield Roy family are keen to take advantage of as many onboard activities as possible.
You'll feel it! Woo!
On their once-in-a-lifetime trip to celebrate Mum Catherine's 40th birthday.
It's for a special occasion, and we wanted to pick something luxurious where we'd have, you know, enough to keep these 2 occupied.
I think the fact we've now been on the ship for 4 days and there's still parts that I haven't seen yet really shows how big the ship is.
Having nailed the 20-metre zip wire and the tallest slide at sea, the ultimate abyss,
I knew you'd be quicker.
Daughters Molly and Kaylee are moving on to the 43 feet climbing wall.
Kenny said he's going to race the girls up the wall and try and beat both of them.
Which is likely. We'll see. Come on, Kaylee.
Well done, Molly.
What is she doing?
When it comes to it, though, Kenny decides he prefers to keep his feet firmly planted on the ground.
I would be up there, but if only I'd known and if only I'd worn my trainers. So we'll have to just watch from afar.
For passengers looking for a place to relax during a long day at sea, at the centre of the ship there's a completely unexpected oasis, Central Park. Home to 20,700 plants.
It's very, very different, and sometimes we have colonies of birds that come and they make Symphony of the Seas their new country to live in. And I think that that's just amazing. It's something you don't see on other cruise ships.
When guests walk into Central Park, we want to amaze them.
For landscape specialist Laszlo, maintaining the largest garden at sea is a labour of love. The plants, which are potted to restrict growth, need constant pruning to keep walkways clear.
When I'm working in the garden, I don't feel like I'm working. It takes you to a different dimension. I'm focusing on my plants. I disconnect.
Laszlo has been gardening on board cruise ships for 10 years, and in that time he's developed an encyclopedic knowledge about which plants will survive the sea's salty conditions.
So we learn what will grow well, what is the type of plant material that doesn't really take the sea condition well. So if you come back 1 year later or 2 years later, you may see something different.
In the 2 years the ship has been at sea, Laszlo has made many changes to the garden's original layout.
These plants are here because of me. They're not here by design. One example is these orchids on the trees. I just installed this one 2 days ago, and they're already attached to the tree. If you can tell, these roots are grabbing onto the tree. And once an orchid gets established on a tree, you can have it for life. So this is something that's one of the most popular things for the guests in the park. I have to secure myself.
As well as the plants on the ground, the garden has a vertical dimension.
All right, let's do it.
2 15-metre living walls, which are home to over 10,200 plants.
It is our focal point, and we have to make sure it's 100% perfect.
As well as the monthly maintenance Laszlo does in his cherry picker, the living wall is fed and watered by 25 irrigation pipes.
What I'm doing, I'm adjusting the structure. Anything that's looking bad, I just try to remove, just make it look pretty, basically. It can be 10 feet up, it can be 30 feet up, doesn't make any difference for me. That's the crown jewel of Central Park, and if the living wall looks great, everybody's happy.
As the evening gets into full swing on board this sailing city,
What's up?
cruise director Ricky
All right.
is getting ready to record the morning show, a daily broadcast about onboard activities, which will be beamed to the ship's 2,759 suites tomorrow morning.
You think that one is too spicy?
Joining him on camera for the first time is activities staff host with the most, Martin.
Ricky's amazing. Ricky's really funny. Ricky absolutely can't do a British accent to save his life, but he's gonna tell you that he can.
What are you talking about, mate? What What are you talking about?
We're saying that your British accent is amazing.
It is spot on. Every once in a while, I do bring on another member of my team to share the spotlight with me.
At 2 p.m., we've got a Latin line dance class. That's going to be in Boleros. That's just down on the promenade.
Martin's keen to take a step up to become cruise director, so tonight he'll be hoping to impress his boss Ricky with his presenting skills.
But at 4:30, everyone, we do have an adult volleyball competition. The qualities to have a cruise director that I think I have is, honestly, I'm not boring. At 8 p.m. tonight, we've got 1977. That is a phenomenal show. That's by your ice cast here on board. That went really well. It's not regimented, it's just fun and free, and hopefully people will have a laugh in the morning. We make magic happen here on the Symphony. No dramas on the Symphony. Of course,
and he did brilliant. His energy was great. I even spoke with a couple of my team members, and they were like, wow, yeah, Martin is a natural. I'm like, yeah, he was. He certainly has the chops to become a cruise director. I would love to mentor him and guide him, but he definitely has the charisma. So, yes, he definitely has what it takes. Open bars and grab some Bloody Mary. Yes.
Drinks! Drinks!
As the evening draws to a close and the clock strikes midnight, the maintenance team is gearing up for an 8-hour shift.
This is the biggest ship in the world, and my job is very difficult, but I gotta get it done, and I gotta get it done the right way, okay?
Night maintenance manager Sylvester and his team clean all the public areas on board, including the ship's 13,347 artworks, which all need to be kept in mint condition.
It's all right.
Tonight is no ordinary night for Sylvester because one of the ship's most precious artworks is due to be cleaned.
Actually, you guys is very lucky to see this because once a year, actually this will happen.
Cascading from deck 16 to deck 5, this suspended glass and crystal sculpture is so complicated to clean that Sylvester flies in 2 specialists from France.
It's amazing. So eventually you have to bring people from shore side to do this type of job because it's a very dangerous and risky job. I finished around 6 o'clock this morning. It takes lots of time. No mistake should happen because
Armed with special extendable feather dusters, Sylvester's extreme cleaners draw quite a crowd. Back on terra firma, the team has 27,600 square feet of floor to mop. It's a Herculean task, but help is at hand in the shape of Big Mama.
I don't know for what reason they call it Big Mama, but that's the name, Big Mama.
It takes Big Mama and her driver 3 hours to clean the promenade.
So you're doing 3 things at the same time. It's scrubbing and extracting the water also. Yeah, she's perfect. And right now she's working properly well.
In the end, it seems Sylvester can't resist Big Mama's allure.
I want to cruise. I'm not going to drive too fast. I could drive it all evening, but I got different stuff to do. So, thank you guys.
It's a busy day at sea, and on deck 6, over at the 700-seater Aqua Theatre, a brand new team of performers are rehearsing for one of the ship's most ambitious shows.
Symphony of the Seas is the biggest ship in the world. So if you're going to have the biggest ship in the world, you've got to have the biggest shows in the world. The budgets we have, the size of the theatres we work in, all leads to big entertainment.
Performed above the deepest pool at sea, Hero is a unique performance not found on other cruise liners, which showcases elite divers, synchronized swimmers, and martial artists.
I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I thrive off of like adrenaline, and I love going fast and being high and jumping off of things. So
For the last 9 months, Hannah has been Hero's principal aerialist, a role which needs not only skill but courage.
anything can change at any split moment. So having a really good working relationship with your riggers is the utmost of importance. Your life is in their hands. Whenever I take off or I land, this guy's here to catch me. So this is when the hip crushing comes in.
For safety, the harness is secured extremely tightly and acts as an extension of Hannah's body.
Whatever I do, the tiniest little twitch, the tiniest little movement, the harness responds to, the harness reacts to. Being the aerialist in this show is so special. I'm so, so lucky. Painful, very painful, but it's fun. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Today, Hannah's been asked to give the new performers a demo of her act before they take to the stage this evening. Hannah plays a character called the goddess Paracel, and her performance is a series of highly technical moves based on the Chinese martial art Tai Chi. One of the most complex is a high-velocity spin called the bullet. It's a physically exhausting set that requires elite levels of fitness.
Whew. Sometimes I get a little bit lightheaded. All right.
Because the show is so physically demanding, only a tiny fraction of performers auditioning for Hero have what it takes to make the grade.
Hi, Hannah.
One of them is Maz.
So this is Maz. She is going to be the next aerialist taking over from me in Hero. So I've been doing Hero for the last 9 months here on the Symphony, and she's my replacement.
Hannah and Maz have spent the last few days rehearsing their act.
A lot of this process just takes a lot of time because each person is so different.
Yeah.
It's not cookie cutter.
No.
Some things do have to be changed just a bit to
suit that person,
and make it good.
And performances in an outdoor theatre are further complicated by one big factor: the weather.
These cables bounce so much more because they're so much longer. So if there's any slack, it just bounces you because of the wind. If you've completed a trick wrong and you kind of jolt a little bit. So it's the ride of your life, really.
On days like today, when the ship is out at sea, this 228,000-ton vessel consumes 2,000 litres of fuel every hour, making energy efficiency a top priority.
The environment is, of course, important to all of us. So we have to come up with new, innovative technology to reduce energy consumption, reduce waste, do more recycling.
Deep in the bowels of the ship is a vast recycling centre.
This is where crew members are bringing their garbage every day. It doesn't close, it is open 24 hours a day.
Looked after by the ship's environmental officer, Alex, and his crew.
This is our cardboard compactor. So you have to have the equipment that can handle our garbage. Protecting the environment is not a choice, it is our obligation. So it comes from each and every crew member to be aware of these things. Our goal is to preserve the environment.
The centre is also home to industrial-sized can and bottle crushers.
This is one of the examples of those crushed glasses. We separate them by color, and they are being recycled by Stericycle in Miami.
On an average cruise, 7,000 bottles are processed in the plant per week. The centre also handles food waste from the 30 onboard kitchens. All of it arrives here in one single pipe.
This pipe goes through here, and there is a separation of water, and the ground food is stored in the separate tank.
Once processed, the food waste is composted on shore, while the water gets recycled in the ship's massive purification plant.
The sources of water that we are processing are the black water and also gray water. Gray water comes from the showers, from the sinks, pools, and galleys, and other non-oily water sources. Black water, of course, from the urinals and medical facilities and toilets.
Using ultraviolet lights, the machine neutralizes bacteria in the wastewater.
This equipment is very, very important because it makes our water clean.
As night falls on another day at sea, across the ship in the Aqua Theatre, crowds are gathering for tonight's performance of Hero, a show where divers and highline acts depend on perfect sea conditions. But unfortunately, the wind has picked up, and on the theatre balcony, hotel director Fernando is watching the conditions on the stage below very closely.
We're experiencing a little bit of movement, and the water is moving a little bit, and it's not very safe for the performers. So in situations like this, we call the captain or the staff captain, try to figure out if we can change course a little bit and see if the movement is better for the performance to be safe. Hi, it's Fernando. We're having a little bit of movement. The water is going sideways. I know the staff captain told me you have the stabilizers out, but I'm wondering, is there anything else that we can do? Maybe adjust a little bit? All right, well, that's excellent. I will let you know. So 5 to 10 minutes. Okay.
The captain agrees to change course to avoid the bad weather. Even the world's largest cruise ship can be agile.
It's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes to be noticeable, and then we're going to assess again and see if it's good enough, and that's pretty much all that we can do. And then if that doesn't work, then we look into postponing the show, but most of the times it works, so fingers crossed.
On the world's largest cruise ship, the crew have been working around the clock with a full itinerary out at sea. The crowd are gathering around the unique Aqua Theatre for tonight's main attraction, Hero.
So everyone, if your scans start coming on through.
As the audience take their seats in the Aqua Theatre for tonight's performance of Hero, it's still uncertain whether the show will go ahead.
Exactly about that I'm calling. We're having a little bit of movement. The water is going sideways. All right, 5 to 10 minutes. Weather affects our show, especially when we are sailing. When the ship is moving, we have people jumping from very high into a pool, and keeping in mind the safety of our performers, sometimes we need to make little adjustments.
Despite the captain's best efforts, the weather goes from bad to worse.
And it is raining. It's like, you know, you have this dark cloud, you know, above you, and you just get this really bad news, and then rain starts. It's just
but like... at least it's an aqua show.
After some deliberation, hotel director Fernando and Ricky decide the weather conditions have made it unsafe for the show to go ahead.
The show must go on another day. Show must go on another day.
It's the penultimate day of the cruise.
Morning, morning, morning.
And in the main galley, the chefs are gearing up as they prepare for the ship's big finale. Formal night, otherwise known on the ship as Dress Your Best.
Apple pie, $5.50. Royal cheesecake, 500.
And this evening, the main delicacy on the menu is lobster.
Lobster night, that is like crazy night because everybody knows the lobster night here. We even serve some days 7,000 lobsters in one night.
Today's going to be a long day. Any challenges, please say early so we can make the adjustments. Yes.
Down in the laundry, on top of the 14 tons of sheets, towels, and napkins they wash every day, Assistant Laundry Master Elite and the team are flat out preparing the guests' finest frocks for formal night.
This belong to Monica.
With so many garments to iron, the team needs specialized equipment, including a steamer, which removes wrinkles in a matter of seconds. There's also industrial-sized washers running from 6 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. As the ship makes its way across the Gulf of Mexico back towards Miami, the boardwalk starts to fill with guests, dressed in all their finery.
Everyone's looking very smart. There's a lot of shirts. Everyone's dressed up for it. There's going to be a lot of photographs that come out very well tonight, I think. They're matching. Mother and daughter matching, yes. Yes for the matching, yes. She absolutely thought I was crazy. Formal night is actually one of my favorite nights. It's a timeless thing for cruise ships and the nautical life to dress up in your best. Hi. You don't have to, just please don't come in a Speedo to the dining room.
Whilst he's not wearing Speedos, business owner Howard decides not to push the boat out tonight.
I wear a suit when I work, so when I come on holiday, I like to be a little bit more casually dressed. I think it's really cool with the robots.
Before they head to dinner, Howard and his family are trying out the ship's bionic bar, which features 2 robotic cocktail waiters serving over 30 different spirits.
Bit of tequila, that sounds good. Looks nice, looks fancy. We'll see how it tastes.
Another Scottish family travelling this week are the Fairfield Roys. In honour of his Scottish roots, Dad Kenny's opted to wear a kilt for formal night, and it's causing quite a stir.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Saying Kenny, a fellow Scotsman's over there in a kilt. So he's going for the formal look tonight. I've gone for the more casual, informal look. And I look like a napkin.
Pleasure. Oh, lovely speaking to you guys. Thank you. All right, mate.
You look a lot better than I do.
Oh, well, actually, I don't have that many nice clothes, so, you know, I thought, why not just bring the kilt?
Absolutely. You get lots of attention tonight. You in the main dining room.
Before Howard has a chance to regret his informal choice of outfit too much, the announcement comes that dinner is served.
I'll see you when you're better dressed.
Sounds good. Thanks very much. Get.
While the Finch family head quickly to their table, the Fairfield Roy family are struggling to make it as far as the dining room because Kenny's kilt has acquired celebrity status. Development chef Alan and his team are working their socks off to make formal night a success.
Everything is faster, everything is running. Good.
Welcome, welcome. This is the main galley in deck 5, okay? The main dining room, you will see lobster night.
Chef Alan wants to make sure every single dish is perfect.
Change me this one, do me a favor, please. No, this change, please. The rice breaking.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you very much. Yes, chef. Yes. Guys, please fix the rice, please. Change it. Come on, guys, come on, more faster. Principal focus tonight is the lobster. We had one station. Many times it's so busy that we have to make 2. It's like thousands and thousands of lobsters without stop. Oh.
Back in the restaurant, Kenny and his family have finally got seated.
My lobster. Wow.
And Howard's sampling tonight's speciality.
Oh, that's good.
After the lobster dinner, 700 of the ship's 6,300 passengers are grabbing their last chance to watch Hero, which was postponed last night due to bad weather.
Welcome back, welcome back. Hi, hello. Hi, how are you?
Tonight's conditions are much calmer, so the new cast, including aerialist Maz, are taking their positions.
We have a very packed house. It's amazing.
Hannah, the show's former aerialist, is here to watch her replacement Maz's first live performance.
It's really awesome to be able to watch her and support her because I know what she's going through.
I like to watch the beginning. It's so powerful, so it really gets me into the mindset of where my head needs to be for the character that I'm playing.
Set in Japan, Hero tells the story of 3 warring clans and is opened with a striking bow staff routine.
When he picks up that bow staff, it's like an extension of him, and it's so powerful, and it's such an amazing start to this show to set the tone of the show, like it's up there right from the start.
Next are the show's high wire performers, whose act takes place 30 meters above the audience.
This is such a special moment in the show. We're in the middle of the ocean on a cruise ship and we've got 2 guys walking a high line. Like, it's just too hard to believe sometimes. It's so cool to watch the audience's reaction. Everyone's just pointing and in shock. Really awesome, really special.
Last but not least is aerialist Maz, who's taking her first flight in front of a live audience. In this piece, Maz's character, the goddess Paracel, meets the lead Ronin, and when they connect, they begin a journey to unite the tribes.
It's such a powerful moment because it's when chaos is going on all around and it's all happening at once, and it's just such a visually spectacular moment.
Maz's performance culminates with the most difficult move to master.
The bullet is one of the hardest tricks to conquer. It is so difficult. It takes time, it takes practice. Here we go. Yes, Maz. Hi. Great show. Thank you. Oh, I loved it. You guys are amazing. Oh my gosh, like, your bullets are so good. Thank you. Yeah.
Those are like one of my favorite parts. I love the bullets.
Yeah.
For 6,300 guests, the 7-day trip has come to an end, and the world's largest cruise ship heads back to the port of Miami.
But I already got a picture from you, didn't I?
With the ship docked, Genie Reno is preparing to say goodbye to the 4 families he worked with all week.
The important thing is to get to know them well.
Okay? Don't be sad.
By doing so, you inevitably become more attached to the guest and you develop a great relationship with them.
One of the ways that the Royal Genie makes guests feel extra special is by buying them personalized gifts at the end of their holiday.
Tell me good news. You know, over the week we get to know them. We know more or less what their likings are, even if we stalk their bill and see what's their favorite things that they would shop for.
Today, Reno is on a mission to find the perfect gift for a couple staying in the ship's Royal Loft Suite.
I think for him especially, I know that would be good.
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do is wrap it up for me and just put it on the Genie account, and I'll be back to fetch
All right,
it.
I'll get it ready for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Once the gifts are sorted, Reno's last job is to collect his guests from the executive lounge for disembarkation.
It's been great. It's a large boat. It's a long time to, plan activities out, and having Reno helping us has really made the vacation wonderful.
Now you have to have your card. Come, mister. Let's go. It's, sometimes it's a sad point to say goodbye to a family that you've met. They really do become family, part of you. The good thing about it is, they will come back and they'll come and visit you again and again. I think that is the thing about my job you dislike the most is, saying goodbye to, when you meet the people. So it's always difficult, but we are ready to roll on for our next one.
When guests leave, they should be leaving with the feeling that they want to experience more. It's like watching a good movie. You watch a good movie and then you just want to watch it again later on because you want to see all the little bits that you have missed. So when people leave, we want them to have this chance again and to have this experience again.
In just 2 hours' time, Reno will welcome 4 new families and begin the process all over again.
Right, ready for our next one?